couple weeks ago, did a bit of a panic buy when there's all the talk about tariffs and prices are rising, and pen prices are going up already, particularly with my pen hookup, Penpen-avenue on eBay. Excellent seller. I've scored so many high quality Japanese pens at seriously reduced prices versus what I would pay here in the US. But with the de minimis packaging, tariffs changing, and just tariffs in general, and the whole trade war that's going on, or whatever the heck's happening right now, I did a little panic buy. I bought that, this Signature, 823 in Signature, which I have some things to say about it, but not right now, because I got my other pen in the mail yesterday. So let's open this one up. I'm very excited about this. I'm excited about everything. I use that word a lot, but I do have a lot of joy and excitement in life, and pretty fortunate right now to be able to do this kind of stuff. So, it's exciting. I appreciate it. So this one is kind of like, I wouldn't call it a grail pen. I would call it a very, very unique pen. As you know, I love Pilot pens, and I have a wide variety of, good mid-level, Pilot pen. And this one I thought it was kind of gimmicky when I first saw it. So I was like, no, never mind. But as I go through, learn more and more about Pilot pens and what I like about them and the different things they can provide, I really, really started to think about this one again. And it wasn't until a few months ago that I decided to finally pull the trigger, started saving up. And that is, let's take this off. International warranty card, cool. So this is a Pilot Justus. It's in the 95 line, so this is in the same kind of odd line that I don't quite understand yet as the Pilot 95S, which I don't have available right here. I've been, it's in the same family as the Pilot 95S. And it comes in this very distinctive box, very different than the kind of boring gray little, kind of generic boxes that the other pens come in, which is fine. I'd rather pay for the pen than the packaging. So I don't care if it's particularly elegant packaging or, what the unboxing experience is. I don't live for that. Wow, this is way better packaged than I was prepared for. Okay, here we go. Okay. Oh my goodness. Packaging almost beat me. Little Pilot warranty card there. Okay, here we go. Pilot Justus. Now what this thing is it is a crazy awesome pen with a very, very interesting, unique nib. Okay, I like this. This is definitely, I don't really care about packaging, but this definitely has a way more premium feel than I've been opening recently. Oh, look at that. Look at it. This comes in two styles. There is, if you can see this texture here in the body. Oh, that feels nice. There's two styles of that texture. There's a stripe, which is a long stripe that runs from the one end of the pen to the other, and very thin stripe pattern. And then there's this net pattern, which is the one I selected. Hopefully you can see that there. So what's really unique, this cap is really lovely too. Everything's in this net pattern. What makes this pen unique is this nib. As you can see, it's got this very, very striking, it looks very Pilot style, size and style of nib. Excuse me. But it's got this like little metal thing that's laying across the top of it, right? Kind of resting along the base of the tines. And what this enables you to do is you can turn this little, there's this little collar. You can see it has little arrows on it. It says S and H, with arrows pointing in corresponding directions. And what happens is, depending on where you turn this, let's see if I can turn it, see what that's like. Okay. I'm turning it toward the S, and you see that little metal, whoops, no, I went too far. That little metal thing that rests along the tines, let's turn it to H. It extends and it reduces the flexibility of the nib. Doesn't change the ink flow, doesn't change the size or anything weird like that, but it just changes the firmness of the feel of the nib. So I can go from writing with a hard, this would be a really soft position here, and this would be a really hard position here. Hopefully you can see that. If not, I'll shoot it again. I'll edit it in there. Yeah, so the Pilot Justus. I'm going to ink this up, and we're going to see how it feels. It is gorgeous. Very, very different looking. And I don't, like I said, this seemed like a huge gimmick to me, but it is so well implemented, in my understanding, it's so well implemented that it's completely natural, and it just feels great when you want to switch up the feeling of that nib as you're writing. By the way, there's a fine medium. It comes in fine, medium, and fine medium. Not a lot of variation to the size of the line this is putting down, because this pen's all about the changing the softness or the relative rigidity of the nib while you're writing. So there we go, Pilot Justus 95. I absolutely adore this mesh feeling. It feels fantastic. I knew I would like it better than the stripe. The stripe kind of reminded me of a Lamy 2000. It was a very defined stripe, not as soft and subtle as that Macrolon of the Lamy 2000. But I just really liked the look of this mesh. I thought it was a lot. Yeah, okay, I'm pretty psyched. I need to ink this thing up and see what it's all about. So I'm going to do that. Actually, I'm going to admire it in its case for a minute, because this is pretty nice packaging. Okay, well done, Pilot. Nicely done. Seriously, was I recording that whole time? What a dope. Okay. So I inked up my Pilot Justus 95 in fine medium. I didn't show it here. I shot one of my goofy little quick fill videos, and I did it in one take, and it's dreadful, but I was too excited. I didn't want to keep reshooting it because I really wanted to get this thing on paper. So what I'm using is I use Satsuji. It's springtime. My mom used to have a ton of azaleas around the house. I grew up in Ohio, so Ohio is perfect for azaleas. So this is Irishizuku Tsutsuji, which is azalea, and it's a really lovely kind of pinkish, has a little bit of gold sheen in there. It's quite nice. I really, I'm excited. This is a brand new bottle. I've had this for, gosh, a couple months. This is my first chance to use it, so I'm excited. All right. Nothing fancy on the paper. I absolutely love this planted tree paper from Muji. This is the 7mm lined paper. I get it in these little notebooks, these little 5-packs. This is $1. There's like 80 pages in here. So it's, how many pages? No, 36 sheets. 36 sheets, so 72 writing surfaces. But for $1, it doesn't bleed. It's I use it a lot. It's fun and cheap, and I have more in the mail. I have piles of these just because I got a huge deal on them in Christmas time, but they were having another sale. So for example, this was the Ancient Copper. This was my signature 823 and signature that I pulled out, showing off a little bit ago at the beginning of this video, and I wrote with it. Look at that big juicy writing, which I actually need to show you sometime. Sorry, I got kind of distracted. I got a conference going up. Absolutely zero bleed through, so this is what I'm going to be using for my new Justus. Let's see what this is like. Okay. Alright. So, I did get a little, when I wrote out, I don't know if I told you, and I'll tell you later something important. Let's focus on this pen, one thing at a time. So currently I have it in the hard setting, where the tine is all the way up, not the tine, but the little pressure bar, or whatever the heck, the adjuster, is all the way up. So that's, I've turned the dial all the way toward H, so the firmer setting. So a lot of pressure on those tines to keep them from flexing so much. So let's try this out. This is a, oh, I hate the way that paper jumps sometimes. Paper do jump. Let me just put a little pressure on it here. Pilot Justus 95. This is 14K nib and fine medium. H setting. Gosh, an extra thing to worry about when I'm writing this. And this ink is Iroshizuku. S-U-J-I, or Azalea. I don't know if you can hear the cat calling behind me. She's very needy. I gotta go open that closet or I'll never hear the end of it. Be right back. Okay, typical cat. If the door is closed, it is upsetting. Alright, sorry for the distraction. This feels amazing. And this is on the hard setting. This is all the way to H. The tines fully, or the spacer, whatever, I gotta figure out what that's called. Whatever that thing's called is fully extended, pushing down on the tines to prevent them from flexing. And it's great. Quick brown. I got my G right. I mean, it's like a Pilot. It's kind of got a glassy feel to it. Oops, sorry about that. Like a Pilot, it's got kind of a glassy feel, but there's just a slight bit more texture. I can feel the paper. This is smooth paper, so there's no toothiness on this paper, or very, very, very mild toothiness. So it's just gliding over, but I can still feel the pressure of the nib on the paper. So it's excellent, is what I'm trying to say. It's not too glassy. It's not too, but even at this H setting, I'm getting a ton of softness here. I don't know if you can see it. Just a little boing, 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 boing. Just a little bit of that classic Pilot, 14 karat nib bounce. I don't know how to describe this feeling. Obviously I suck at this, but it feels great. It's very natural. It's very comfortable. The netting feeling in this, the textured netting on the surface of the pen, has a nice, just comfortableness to it. Feels like you really can hold on to it. It's not glossy. It's not slippery. It's not biting into my hands. And even the milling, or whatever you call that, for the screw. Gosh, my brain. It's very early. I wanted to do this before I do my yard work. Even this feeling here, this is not rough. This is not sharp. This is extremely comfortable to hold. Sometimes I hold back here. Sometimes I hold up here. All positions feel great. This is just delightful. Oh, that's a good word. That's an excellent word for this experience. This is delightful. So I'm going to now tune this down a bit. I'm going to turn this all the way over. I'm just going to go to the extreme. I'm going to turn this all the way over to the S position without actually unscrewing. And you can see that little thing slides back into the body or the collar. Let's go all the way out. Let's go all the way back. I really love ink on a nib. Look at that beautiful fuchsia or pink or whatever the heck that color is. I'm not so good with colors. Kind of leaving behind. Okay, this is all the way to S. Now this is, whoa. I can't talk or write at the same time. Okay. Now where the first setting, slow that down a bit. Here we go. I can feel, okay, I'm not speaking words. I'm not helping you understand this experience. This is stellar. So this setting, you know, the H setting here was very good. I mean, really, really great. Super comfortable, bouncy, not a lot of flex, but still comfortable little cushion to the writing. And this kind of amps that up just a little bit. I don't know if you can tell, I'm just getting a tiny bit more ink through the softer setting, just a tiny bit more ink, making the line look just a little bit larger. But the softness is just mind-blowing. This is amazing. Now it's not like a Pilot soft nib where like an Alabo where it's got a ton of softness and bounce to it. This is just this excellent experience, more excellent. I don't know how else to describe it, but this, I'm really excited. Okay, I actually had to stop because I was getting a little emotional about this pen. It's early. I tend to get emotional first thing in the morning. It's the perfect time to watch movies, by the way. If you ever really enjoy watching movies or reading books, first thing in the morning, before your defenses have time to rebuild themselves after you woke up, you want to be susceptible to whatever the heck the director and writer and actors wanted you to feel. Oh, you're going to get it first thing in the morning. At least I do. Anyway, this Planted Tree paper, you can see just a tiny bit of ghosting, little bit of bleed through here. This paper is fantastic. Fantastic. Excited and fantastic. These are my two emotions, generally. Yeah, I'm very, very pleased with this pen. I cannot overstate it. Let me just do another quick little thing here on a fresh piece. This is a 1 pen. Yeah, just soft. Let me switch it back over to H. Get that tine really sticking up there. There we go. This is a wonderful pen. Oops, get a little more light down here. Sorry about that. This where has it been all my life? So I'm scaling back my pen purchases for the rest of the year for reasons. I'm actually have this plan of how I'm going to sort of reset my fountain pens, my entire collection. Not, keep everything, but I'm just kind of changing the way I use them and interact with them. So this, as the final pen purchase for 2025, which, it's still early, we'll see what happens. But for the plan right now, this is the final pen purchase for 2025, and this is the absolute peak of my fountain pen experience so far. Just freaking incredible. And I got to tell you, just switching back to the H mode, I'm really, I don't know. I can't say one's better than the other. The soft was just mind-blowing in the S mode. This is definitely an S tier pen experience, I'll tell you that. I am very, very pleased with this pen. I'm going to, maybe spend some time and fill out a couple pages, use up what I've got started here, and just really, really absorb it a little bit more. But right now, holy crap, this is unbelievably amazing. One thing of note, I did pay Japanese prices for this. I paid $280 for this US. Penpen just started, $280 US plus taxes and shipping. Penpen's shipping is ridiculously reasonable. It's $8 for one item, and if you buy multiple items, they combine shipping automatically. So you get that $8 refund for every item you tack on there. It's really great. It's the only way I've been able to populate my pen collection like I have been in the last 2 years is by these direct Japan sellers. Super reliable seller. This is, holy crap. Pilot Justus 95. Amazing pen.